hello, you triple changing pieces of protoplasm. It is I, your humble host, your purveyor of plastics. I'm FSG1, coming at you for another Transformers transformation review thingy. Yes, finally getting around to doing Transformers Legacy United Sandstorm. Yes, I got this at TFN, I want to say 2 years ago now. He's just been sat in the box, bless him. I'll admit he's a bit fiddly. This mode isn't the best, but he rolls reasonably well. He's a Baja Buggy type thing. Very nice, very nice, very nice. And that's what I do like. You do incorporate all the little bits that you get with him. I'll go into that in a moment. Not so much robot kibble underneath there, which is very nice. Yes. Yes. It is a bit... I think a couple more rounds of R&D might have been well, because I mean, I don't like this bit. It's not flat. Compared to the original mould, I do have it. It's seen better days. I will be looking for another one at TFN this year. So yeah, so he's like I say, he's a bar buggy. You got some nice details going on. You got this sort of mesh going on where the windows are there, and you got these tech details going on. Yeah, sound. You can see other things that may be happening later. But I mean, other than that, I mean, it's pretty. I mean, it is pretty cool. Right, so take everything off. So we got a gun here, and it comes with this just nice big blaster. It's pretty good. Does the job, doesn't it? Very cool, very sci-fi looking. Standard issue, really, isn't it? Same on both sides. And that just, you can fit that on the top there. Like that. It's a bit loose, but it does fit there. And as attack modes go, that's not quite so bad. I've seen other ones that are really bad. Like you get like a nice sports guy with a gun splattered on top. Yeah, it's not very good. Yeah, so you got the rifle there. And you get a little pistol as well. I never understood why you get this little pistol. I think it's supposed to represent the one you see him using in the cartoon, but yeah, cool little sci-fi pistol. Right, so you get this cage here, and then that just comes off. He says, oh, come on, it's stuck. Oh, you know, it's stuck in there. Oh, there we are. And you take this winch out as well. I'll get into that in a minute. Not doing it yet, come on, there we are. And then underneath here you get this plate, which nicely covers this up. I quite like that. Got some details on it, but this plate will become important in a moment. And you just peg in, you've got these little slots there that just fit into these little ports there. So you've got a nice little plate there, and then what you do is, you grab this, and then you flip it around, you've got these four ports there, and then you just connect it up thus. And then you've got a little rescue cage thing going on, and then you get the, well, actually it goes the other way around. I'll demonstrate this up a bit more later, but you get the little plug which plugs in into there, and then you can hang it from the helicopter and you can rescue people. You know, they can land on there and walk on there, and then, you know, anyway, that's that and that. So let's take them to helicopter mode. Yes, now let's see if I can remember how to do it. Right, okay, so what do is I think we take this section off as well. So you get this bit, comes with a tail rotor or spoiler. We'll get into that in a minute. So what do? Basically, if I remember how it goes, we flip him over, we disconnect all this kibble at the back here. Yeah, that's it. You disconnect all this. Then we, how are we doing it? I'm not sure. I think this whole section comes loose, and then the whole thing comes forward, I think. It's been a while since I've played with this guy, I'll be honest. Because these... There's his head there, we'll look at that in a minute. Because these have got to come into here. Bear with me. Okay, I think I have it. So basically what you do is you just pull his head out like that. Rotate this whole section in like that. And then you position his head back here, like that. Then, bring this down. These should rotate in. Oh, wait a minute, I've not done it right. That should rotate all the way in like that. That's it. And then this front section should free up, which it's not doing now. Why aren't you doing it? Come on. There we are. So we're into this position. So these should now, these side bits here, should cover all of this section up like that, which they do. We're getting somewhere. We're actually getting somewhere. Right, so that comes out like that. Then you rotate these down like that. I'm getting them out of the way. So I think what we need to do is rotate these in like that. Then we take the wheels and we position them out of the way at the back here. So you get them like that, I think it is. And you position them out of the way like so. Which is a bit, I think, a bit odd, because you've got to get them to that position. So these orange bits become the landing gear. I'm not a big fan of that, I'll be honest. I'd rather just have them stuck on the side there. But yeah, so you've got to do that. That's it. So then we lift these up, rotate them round. Oh no, we don't. Rotate them in like that, and then they should peg in here, like so. This is a fucking shit show, this. There we are. And then this one here as well. Like that. There we go. Now we're getting somewhere. So we're into this position. So now what do? Is we rotate these back like that. Rotate this whole section around. And then rotate these back, because these are going to spin in a moment. So what do we do here is we rotate these sections in like that, which replicates the original toy, has that same design on there. We'll look at that in a moment. And then all of this fits on there like that. That fits into there like that, to sort of carry on the engine block kind of thing. You get the tail rotors, and then that goes in there like that. You're supposed to lift them up like that, but I kind of think that's a bit silly, but that's how it goes. And then the last thing we do is we separate the rotors. Now, I can't remember how to do it. I think you just push it until it pushes out. There we are, like that, that's it. And then, oh no, come on. And then you just put them at the compass locations, north, south, east and west. I've got a feeling I'm going to break this. It feels like it's going to snap. Right. There we go, got it. And then there is his helicopter mode. And he's, oh no, I'm not finished yet. These, oh shit, hang on. Rotate these back like that, and they cover this section up at the back there. That's what I've forgotten. So it fills in this little gap there. Same for this side. Just rotate that out again. Rotate that round. Yeah, so, and then we just click everything back together. Right, so we just finagle everything back together after my little blunder there. So I get that in like that, and then this bit doesn't want to fit together anymore. I don't understand why. Just seems that every time I try and do a figure at the moment, it just wants to fight me to the death. That should fit in there. That should fit in there. Do you know what? Hang on one second. Sorry about that, I had to do that off camera. For some reason it was fighting me and I had to click it all back into place. But there is his helicopter mode, and he transforms into one of those sort of big rescue helicopters, and he still rolls reasonably well. You got these now orange landing gears, and just like the original toy, you get the big Baja wheels underneath there. But this is the bit I'm not keen on, where you've got to position the wheels like that. I'd rather the had more of a transformation sequence under there. Would have been nice. But there we go. So you can mount these guns in various different locations. You've got these different ports there. We can put that one on the side there, and then we can put the little tiny one on the other side like that. So you've got that thing, that sort of configuration going on. Bit of an airwolf thing. And right, so you've got this cage thing. So you can loosen up the winch. And you've got a peg and port, and then you can peg it underneath here, like so. Like that. And then you can pretend that he's flying off, and then you can rotate rotate that up like that, and then eventually it will lift off like that. How cool is that? and he can have his precious cargo, and then he can helicopter away, which is pretty cool. It's a nice addition, but it does kind of get in the way, and it's real. And where it sits here, it's a bit of a pain to get out, quite honestly, because you try and get it out, it's got to go in that sideways on, or it won't fit. I'm probably doing something wrong. Oh, there we go. And then because it splits it open, now it doesn't want to go back together again, which is 8. There we go. Yeah, it's a nice addition, but they claim it's Voyager class when it's just a slightly larger deluxe, and they had all this extra bits in that you don't really need. But anyway, we'll put that over there. It does the rotators. The rotor blades do rotate, but they don't rotate freely, unfortunately. You know, that's about it. I like ones that really spin for ages. The one on the tail is a bit better, but it's not perfect. You know, you can't have everything. I mean, it's not a bad mode. I quite like it, don't get me wrong. A couple more R&D sessions to get this looking, you know, a bit better. But there we go. It's not too bad, really. It's just the underside I'm not a big fan of, you know. And then if you're playing helicopters, then that's the bit you see. You know, but there it is. Okay, let's take them to robot mode then. Right, so what do is we just take off these guns on the side like that. Move everything out of the way. Then you get the rotor blades, and then you just twist them back to the original position we had them. And I am so scared I'm going to snap these off. Oh. Right, okay, so we do that, and then we should. Right. There we go. And the last one, round like that. There we go. Move them out of the way like that. And then basically you just free everything up. So you lift that up, rotate these back underneath. Oh, let's come out there, back underneath, like that. Rotate that back like so. Oh yeah, rotate these round so you can fit them underneath there, and then you rotate them back round, like that, and they just fit in this little cavity at the top here. There we are, and then just leave that like that. Then what do? We come to this side, then we disconnect what will become his arms and just get them out of the way. Thus, let's just move the camera up slightly, there we go. And then we disconnect the wheels and get everything out of the way like that. Come to what will become the legs, slide them down. Are they going to slide down? Oh, you separate them up first, that's it. Now they should slide freely, because we're on these little slide joints with this metal pin there. Are we going to slide? Oh, no, wait, we need to move this out of the way, and that's it. Now they should slide forward. There we are. There we are. That was really difficult to do, that. Up and out his toes, like so. Up and out his foot, like that. And then, like that. There we go. So then we come round here, get this section, rotate that round, like that. Oh, that stays up, that's it. Stays up like that. Rotate that round, and then we get the wheel here, and then you've got a peg and port. You've got a peg there, port there, and then you just peg and port them together thus. Same for this side, rotate that round, peg and port. Rotate that, hang on a minute. There we go, rotate that round, peg and port, and peg and port. And then legs are done. Legs are done. So we get to the torso now. So now what do is we open this section up as before. So we rotate everything around like that. Oh yeah, just move the arms down so we can get clearance. Move that round, and then these orange sections here that are messed up, we'll rotate back up like that, and rotate back up like that. And then this whole section we'll peg and port into there on both sides. So we peg and we port. We peg and we port. And then you rotate these sections. Actually, I like to leave them out like that. And you're supposed to peg and port. Come on. Peg and port. Port and peg. That's one. And this one doesn't want to play now. There we go. Gotcha. So we're here. We're about here. So now what do? Get what will become his chest. And then that should rotate up. And you pull this bit back round like that. And then that should rotate back up on there. And then everything should fit together. Right, how are we doing it? How are we doing it? Oh yeah, we disconnect it out like that, I think. That's it. Lift its head up a touch. Rotate that in. And I think we're about there. And then we come under here and we rotate these round. Rotate his hands round and in like that. Same for this side. You can rotate them out and out again and back in. And there, boys and girls, is Sandstorm. And he doesn't look too bad in his robot mode, quite honestly. It does look like the original toy. It does look like the original toy. They have done a cartoon, a more accurate cartoon version with a 2-pack. I think, is it Snarler, I think? I can't remember. But they did do a cartoon, most cartoon accurate face. Kind of passed on it because this guy does the job. I keep saying I'm trying to cut that down. I've been doing this a lot of years, and I still and I've got to stop it, and I've got to redo my vocabulary a touch. Oh yeah, we can open these as well, like that. So we can do that. Yeah, so he's not too bad as a robot. A little clunky, a little chunky. You can actually remove this if you want and make it a weapon of sorts, or a scanner perhaps. You can pretend he's got like a PKE meter or something, except it won't fit in there. Oh, because it's got a slightly rounded part. I haven't just noticed that. Oh, okay then. It can only fit there then. Let's take a look at that head sculpt. It's got some quite nice details going on there. I do like the faceplate. I like the big blue eyes and the nice little yellow flat cap he's got going on there. It's pretty cool. I do like it. But yeah, it's a really nice head sculpt. I really do like it. And looking at it now going, yeah, you know what? I kind of want the other one they did. Yeah, so in terms of articulation then, his head can rotate 360 degrees potentially, but it is hindered by all of this kibble. And this guy has quite the backpack. Oh yeah, that fit that back up there like that. And you put that underneath. No, you put that back up there. It's got quite the backpack, as you can see. Fold back in. Oh yeah, there we go. That's it. He clicks back in, and that clicks on his bum there. Yeah, he's got this huge backpack, but then the original did as well. So yes, he can rotate his arms potentially 360 degrees, but they are hindered by the kibble. I mean, you can position them any which way you like. I like to just stick them out like that. Yeah, and he can move in and out of the shoulder. He can rotate at the top of the bicep, bend at the elbow. He can rotate at the wrist. He's got waist rotation. He can kick forward. He can kick back up to about there with a kibble. Kick out. Bend at the top of the thigh, bend at the knee, and then his feet can move up and down, and then they can go in and out for articulation purposes. Yes, and, you know, he's pretty cool. I do like him, but it's a pain to transform. The two vehicle modes don't quite do it. What's the best way to describe it? Odd. Yeah, and you can give him his gun like that, and you can give him his big gun like that, and you can dual wield all afternoon and go pew 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 pew, or you can put that one on his wrist there and just have like a wrist mounted blaster, which is pretty cool. Then you get the cage thingy, majiggy. You can hold it in his hand. Can he hold it in his hand? He should be able to. Yes, you can hold it in his hand. And you can flail that like a flail, you know, if he so chose. But I tend to just leave that off. It just sits in a box, quite honestly. Well, when I've got him on display anyway, it will just fit in the box. I suppose you can just... No, yeah, it just kind of sits there, doing nothing. But there is Sandstorm, Legacy United Sandstorm, and his chest has come all undone. Yeah, I like it. I mean, I got it for absolute steal off In Demand. I quite honestly think it's a figure you could probably skip, unless you've got affinity for Sandstorm. I think he only appears in is it 2 episodes of the original cartoon? I know one's Fight Off Flea, and the other one is Starscream's Ghost. Yeah, and yeah, I think unless you really like Sandstorm, I think you can pass on this guy, quite honestly. I mean, I have it. You've got Springer and you've got Broadside. Yeah, it expands your Autobot sides up a bit, but again, it's just, you could probably miss him out and you wouldn't miss him, even if you didn't know this figure existed. You know what I mean? It's that kind of thing. I mean, don't get me wrong, it looks good in robot mode, but it's just his vehicle modes just are a bit rubbish, quite honestly. So yeah. Well, thank you for watching. A big shout out to all my subscribers, new and old. If you're not subscribed, hit like, share, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell. I've got new videos out, which will be every Thursday and Saturday. Unfortunately, there's only going to be one this week because I've been working on some YouTube video, some TF Nation videos, and my gaming channel. So yeah, and a big shout out to my latest Patreon, Dropkick NL. Thank you so much. And if you like to follow Dropkick, please check out my Patreon. I've got some cool rewards over there. The link will be in the description. So thank you. And I will catch you all very soon. Bye for now.
Unleashing the power, tearing through the night. Transformers in my hands, ready for the fight. With every single figure, I gear up to transform. Soundwave SG-1, bringing thunder in the storm.